Here we are. We are live. We're back again. We are back. It's like we never left.
No, I
Just
left.
different people.
Trust me, I left.
You left. Yeah, you left. You left. You're here though today. That's a
I
start.
don't know how I'm here.
That's a start.
That's all right.
But hey, we are here tonight. We're starting a new segment.
A new show.
New segment, show, whatever you want to call.
Share.
We are here with the new head football coach of the Garfield Boilermakers, Coach Pete Santacroce. Thank you very much.
Thank you for
Coming
having me.
on. Coming on.
Last night's show was great. I
That's
enjoyed
not
it.
just my first question. How'd you like last night's
I thought it was
Garfield
tremendous.
history show?
Tremendous. Hank's a
Had
great
Hank
guy.
Goal on.
Hank's top notch.
I tell you, we were saying last night about what can Garfield ever do to top that. I don't know.
I heard it too.
I don't know.
Listen,
That's tough.
hopefully we got some things up our
You got
sleeves this
something up
year,
your
but
sleeves, but that's
it's long overdue.
It is.
It's long
Yeah.
overdue. But
it is.
But the history
that's-
in the whole thing was awesome.
You brought up a big point. It's hard to replicate that sense of community
Yes.
that they had.
Yeah, it's
Reading that book, it gives you chills.
and like we were
It gives you
saying,
chills.
real quick to get on that, we were saying like, he kept asking, what do we know about it? We're like, a field goal, 16-13. But then you read that book and you're like, oh my
Yeah.
God, like come on.
First of all, that's a history book. It's
Yeah.
tremendous.
Yeah.
It's a history book. But
Absolutely.
I heard the same story you heard, and you heard dropkick.
Yeah,
I asked him that. I asked him,
exactly.
and
That's what we heard.
he shot it down.
Believe it
Yeah.
hearing that. I was telling him today on the phone. In Boilermakers,
Yep.
coaches would do the drop kick
Yep.
and go,
Benny
Yep.
Babula,
Yep.
Benny Babula.
and I'm like, cool. And
It's
then when he
amazing
told us,
how-
I'm like, you almost want to say, no, you're wrong.
I know.
He did the research.
Those dropkicks better, but
It is a better story, but
Yeah.
it was so weird.
So let's get this
Yeah.
head coach, Garfield, starting in 4 nights. You got to be fired up. You got to be ready to go.
Yeah.
I got a couple questions because I'm prepared. I'm like him, but I'm ready to
But
go.
your hair looks
That's all right. I'm don't worry about me.
But your hair
Hey,
looks like that.
Yeah, that's fine. That's
he looks
fine.
great.
Yeah.
I look good.
Yeah.
Anthony's saying hello. Angelo saying hello. So you're getting a lot of hellos already on the
I
show.
got a lot of
but I
love.
want
I
to
got a
start
lot of
this.
support. It's been great.
Head coach, what got you into coaching? I want to get into that first. You
Well-
were, I'll say this. Graduated Garfield High School, 3-sport athlete, but coaching's a little different animal.
Absolutely.
What got you into coaching?
I'll preface it by saying coaching really got me into teaching. So I originally went to college for business, and then I started coaching with Jack LeBou, Vic Parenti, and I started in Little League. Then we did GJB, and I realized that like working with kids and being still a part of
By
the
the way, former player, Giordano's, 3 years with me.
Oh yeah,
Tom's Flores, guys, if you're watching, we're sorry. Biggest upset in Garfield
1-0
history.
opening day.
We
Not a
did-
big deal.
we did it.
Not a big deal.
Hope Charlie's not watching, but
Slayed the Giants.
that's what it is.
Slayed the
We
Giants.
slayed the Giants.
Now
We
he's
got him.
always taller than you now.
We got it's okay. It didn't matter.
But I wasn't back then, so
But back then,
No.
so
You might have been.
we had some guys that were.
yeah, that's true. So
Richie
you knew
Gostomski.
right back in, right there. I
Yeah.
want to coach.
Yeah. Right away, because you still have that. You have that connection to the game, to the competitiveness, to all that stuff. And I remember guys like you, guys like Charlie Alimo, guys like Guy Bertola, guys like Dave Schatz, got all these guys that coached me. It was inspiration. It was I wanted to do that. I wanted to do that stuff. It was great, and I made the right choice. This is what I'm meant to do.
That's awesome.
That's what I'm meant to do.
So 4-year assistant, right? 4
Yep,
years.
4 years.
Right to the varsity. Boom. Right to the head coach. Couple just questions I want to ask you. How do you like being a head coach?
I love it. I mean, is it time consuming? Yes. Is it a lot of work? Absolutely. But it's all stuff like I was always told when you find something that you love to do, it's not work. And this is it. So I'm home at night. I'm up until 12 at night.
Doing it whenever, right?
Doing it whenever.
I'll tell you this, when I coach.
Doing it on my.
And I told Briggs this, when I coached, I had a notebook. Wherever I go, I'm wearing a notebook. Oh, watch this. Picture. That's it. 24/7.
In the coaches' room, we talk about my life on a napkin.
That's it.
Sometimes that's what
That's
you
it.
find. We're in lunch.
That's it.
We're in lunch, and we're like, what about this? What about this? So it's all good stuff. It's great. I love being a head coach.
Your teammate Eddie Murphy, I'm not going to use his words. He said, "I blanked, but was part of the Giordano team." But he was part of Giordano.
Head coach is a different animal. It's definitely like a managerial type position.
Absolutely.
But I think that fits my my toolbox. I'm pretty good at organization, managing, motivating.
So when
I could read the kids.
You're the head coach. Are you going to be calling the plays? Are you going to be involved? How are you letting it
Absolutely
defense
involved.
and offense
All right, so I've always been an offensive guy.
Right.
Love it, but in my 4 years, yeah.
What's
It might-
defense? What's defense?
No, no,
What's
no, no, no,
What's
no, no, no.
defense?
Forget it.
No,
Love
no.
defense.
Kurt still don't know
Love
what defense
But
is.
defense wins championships.
Defense.
Hands down.
Listen,
It does.
it's not a lie. We've
It
been
does.
told that.
It does.
It's a Garfield thing. We've been
true.
told that since kids, but it's a true story.
It is.
It's a true story. But to be honest with you, like I'm an offensive guy, but I had to give the reins up in that area just because the whole managerial aspect.
Yep.
Like, and
That's
plus
why I
first
asked
year, first year on the sidelines, I got to figure out how I want the booth to work, how I want my assistants to work, how I want, who's going to be a player guy, who's going to be a X's and O's guy, who's going to be my clock management guy, all that type of stuff.
Right.
So, but obviously the offensive play is going to be in my headset. And,
Absolutely.
if it's a coach, like I heard this Parcells said it one time. He's like, I don't call the plays, but I'll pull them aside and say, we're going to run it.
Right, absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Or we're going to,
absolutely.
that's
True
the-
story. It
that's
was
the
on the
mentality.
30. It was on the America's
Yep.
game where he said, "I want 3 runs. I don't care
Yeah.
what they are, but it's run, run, run."
We're going to run
And
it. Yeah.
you're the head coach. I mean,
And
that's,
to be honest with you, I have on the offensive side of the ball, we have 3 guys that they're just really good offensive minds. We have Frank Dawson, who's been 30 plus years doing this. He's got the line. He knows all that stuff. He's been great with them. We have Bob Napolitano. He's the SRO in the school. Great offensive mind. Great player when he played too. And same with Mike Messina. Great player, great offensive mind. So the 4 of us together has been a real open dialogue with everything. We work with each other, and so far it's been really good.
leading because of the good question Briggsy asked. What has been your biggest adjustment as being the head coach? Has it been like not having all the input on one side of the ball?
No, because I'm the type of person that what's on my mind, I'm gonna say it, and especially like the guys that I'm working with right now, between the guys that have come back to staff, like Charlie Riggs and Bobby and Chris Pacheri, and the new guys I add to staff, we have a great relationship. So I don't feel, and they don't feel like if I say something, they don't feel shy to say, "Nah, coach, I think this is right." And that's the type of
important.
That's the type of
Yeah.
environment I wanted to really have there. Adjustment wise is just I'm a player's coach, and I'm not going to say I'm not that anymore. But as the head coach, you got to
be a little
different.
different.
Sure.
So today we had to kick it up a notch in practice, and I kind of went.
Manny Fernandez is saying, "Wow, let's go."
My guy Manny.
So there you go.
Know that guy, but he knows where.
There you
He
go.
knows where we're at.
Lorenzo is saying, "Wow."
It's got to
Lorenzo
be.
Velez.
It's
Yeah,
gotta be a
saying
weird
wow.
feeling though that now you have to worry about, like we were talking about the team meal,
Coach.
You got to worry about everything.
every single aspect from getting them on the bus
Right.
Absolutely.
to the
Filling up the
Well,
wall.
I was telling
Who's
Pete,
got the man?
I was telling
Who's
Pete
got-
on there. When I was doing OC, I knew. I'm going to be honest with you. Defense, I didn't know what calls are going on.
You didn't need to.
You didn't know it's anything. It's
No,
just
yeah.
it's this. Okay,
Yeah.
what's the adjustment? So it's a whole different
This
answer.
is where
Whole
I
different animal.
argue with him about. Denver just got a new coach. He's defensive coordinator.
Yeah.
By the way, I got to
Defense
interrupt you
that
for 1
did-
second
Go ahead.
because Vios just wants a shout out to the 17-1 girls freshman softball team. So
Vio.
she wants a shout out, so we got to give a
We'll
shout
see
out.
Vio at the Alliance,
So-
the Alliance dinner.
So that's all.
But I try to tell him, he's now the head coach. He's not the defensive coach.
Yeah.
So he's never called a game from the field. He's always called it from the booth.
Yeah. Well, that's
So
a
that's
whole
the stuff-
different thing too.
That's
You know,
a whole
that's the
different
stuff
thing, too.
that is teachable, but it's experience that's going to get you there.
And when especially you have guys that are comfortable somewhere doing what
Yes.
they've been doing somewhere. You know what I mean? And I'm not trying to like buck the trend and really throw a wrench into the way they
Right.
approach a game. But I do think that having certain guys in the booth and having certain guys here, it could help us
Absolutely.
be more successful. You know, and
Absolutely.
and they've been open to it, so it's been pretty good so far.
Nice.
Who would you say your coaching style? Give me like a college or an NFL guy
He loves to do this.
that you just
Loves to
that
do
you
this.
resembles
I
a
like
little
it.
bit.
No, I like it. I like
You
it.
know?
I like it. Okay. I've read a lot of Urban Meyer.
Okay.
Not that I don't love him. I'm not saying I think he's great.
He's a winner.
I really don't like Ohio State. I really didn't like Florida, but you got to respect the guy,
Yes.
and his books are really great. So he talked a lot about like simplifying things. He talks like 4 to 6 A to B for 4 to 6 seconds. Work your butt off from point A to point B, and like everybody has an assignment on every play. And if you have that mentality, like I got to get from here to here, no one's gonna stop me from doing it, and when I get there, make a play. Simple.
That's it. Yeah.
Simple, right? So
Hammer it
just
home.
simplify it, simplify that. So I like him. But if I could, I don't know much about this guy. He's pretty new, but the
Right.
guy, the guy from Lincoln Riley's
Lincoln
friend.
Riley.
The Rams?
Yeah,
McVay,
McVay. Love him.
offensive guy. That's
Love
why.
him. Love
He's
him.
an offensive guy.
Because he he puts it out there, man. He'll run you, he'll power you, he'll get at you, but he'll throw all that gadget stuff in.
Absolutely. It's all about
And
it is.
You need it. You need it.
Absolutely.
You know, and he doesn't care about, I'm going to put a receiver in the backfield. You put your guys where they can make a play.
And he
That's
went
it.
from similar situation.
Right. He was.
He's a young man.
He's a young guy.
About, I think he's a year older than me.
Right.
Yeah. He's an NFL
And he
coach.
went from now he's in charge of everything.
Yeah. And I remember last year seeing him in between series on a water cooler
That's
trying
it,
to
yeah.
get notes in and then
Yeah.
go coach the rest of the team. I don't know how he did it, but
Now
God bless.
we'll get into the Rams later on.
All right. Okay.
After we get through the Garfield stuff, we got to do some Dallas.
All right. So here's my next
We'll do
thing.
Dallas.
All right. That's fine.
Yeah.
Here's my next one.
What do we got?
Give me examples, something you've already done or that you're going to do that's going to put like the Pete Santacroce stamp on that Garfield team. Like something different.
I got you. Definitely we started it this year. We didn't do as much as I wanted to do, but going forward now I have like the real meat and bones of it down. Now I could add these little things. Team building. We live in a generation where kids could be best friends, but they're not as close as we ever were growing up. You know, they think they're close, but they're not. So we did a lot of those things this offseason on our own. So I think going forward, I heard about a West Point thing that they do, a one-day camp at West Point. That could be something we look forward to. Even something as fun as like, I know this sounds outside the box, but that's how I think, like an escape room or something where you gotta rely
Depend on
other
each
people.
other. Yeah.
If we did that, Kurt still would have been in this game.
Yeah.
So forget.
But I mean, things like that where football is obviously the focus. It's the main thing.
But
Execution, X's and O's.
But learning about your guy next to you and you can rely on him, or your line if you're a running back, or your quarterback.
Because that's what you got to do in the game. That's what you got to do.
Absolutely.
And going back to like what we were saying before, I don't remember if it was on air or off, but what the 1939 team. You don't think those guys were this tight?
And he said it last night.
Those guys were like this, man.
He said it last night.
And, you know, I'm hoping we're going to be a pretty talented football team. I don't know. I'm not going to say we're going to be good, bad, whatever. We're talented. Talent doesn't get you.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Nope.
We're going to be in a game against Team A or Team B where we're going to be down or we're going to make a mistake. How do we respond?
Absolutely.
And that's where that stuff happens, I think, you know?
Yeah, definitely.
Phil Benante's is saying, even though he's not from Garfield anymore, he wants to wish you luck.
I
He
appreciate
follows
it.
the Garfield
Listen,
teams.
that's one thing I have to say to all of Garfield.
Nick
all
Delahanty's
people
saying
from
there's
Garfield.
definitely a lot of excitement heading into the Boilermaker
Yeah,
football
man,
season.
and the support has been tremendous. The support has really been great. I appreciate it a lot.
That's great. What is your offensive philosophy simplified? 3 receivers,
We're
2 tight end. Like, you know, what's your starting point?
we're spread.
Your spread.
But we're realizing we have 2 really good tight ends right now.
Mhm.
One kid who's about 6'5", 6'6".
Oh.
He's a basketball guy, so he's got some skills, and the other guy's got probably the best hands on the team. And they're both pretty good blockers. So we're doing all different types of things, to be honest with you. But we're spread, but we want to still run it
But you
down.
can use them like Gronk.
Exactly. We got a lot of different
See, the
things.
tight end has changed over the last 20 years.
Absolutely.
If you had them then, 20 years
You
ago,
were a blocker.
Absolutely.
We ran a couple of
you're running a triple I.
We could, yeah.
Right.
Now,
But that's the
they
other thing.
spread out.
You're a skill kid.
Yeah, and the other thing too is like what I was saying about being creative is like I'm not locked into anything. I'm not going to force these round pegs into square holes. So if we got a speed team next year, we may be different.
Absolutely.
You know, we got
Adapt
more of
to
a
your talent.
exactly.
Play to your
we
talent.
have more of a power team.
That's
this year,
hard to teach a coach.
Yeah.
Yeah, nah. I mean,
Because there's some
guys are stuck in
there's
their
some
ways, you're
people
right.
that are stuck in their ways that want to say this is my system.
Yeah.
That's what it is. But you got to sometimes you got to go and say like
You-
you're saying you got speed guys.
Listen,
I got to spread them
That's
out.
why college recruits to their system.
Yeah.
They don't have to change as much because
we don't have that.
they're
luxury.
recruiting. You don't have
We
to
don't
go
have
through.
that
So you got to
luxury.
adjust to
We
the.
get what we get.
You know.
We get what we get.
Yeah, that's great. Kurt, next question.
Next
You have
question.
so much.
I got a list. I got a lot.
We got a lot. It's prepared.
What are 3 things you want people to say when they say Garfield Boilermaker football? 3 things about that team.
Garfield, the same 3 things we've probably been taught all our life, right? We're tough. We're never going to back down to anybody. But the third thing, we got to be respectful. We got to be respectful. I'm going to put that out there right now because there's a fine line between being tough and going at people, but respecting your opponents. And we've talked about that a lot, like in our scrimmages and stuff. Like we had Indian Hills come to us. And it was more than just a scrimmage. We had a really great day. It was like a joint practice. We had all different drills set up. And we were out there for about 3 hours, and it was really, really great. And I was telling them, like, when they come here, they're working just as hard as you're working. They're doing all the things you're doing. So their grind is just like our grind. You got to respect it. When we're playing them, you go hard.
Now, let me ask you, because you mentioned joint practice. This whole thing, even in, like, they were talking today on one of the stations I listened to on the radio about how college and NFL with their preseason schedules all messed up. If you had to, you guys still got to do quote unquote scrimmage games.
Mm-hmm.
What do you like better, a scrimmage game or joint practices?
To be honest with you, I thought the joint practice was amazing. So we did a scrimmage against Hawthorne, and not that it was bad. It was good. It was great. It was just like every other scrimmage we did.
You don't want to show everything.
Not only that.
You don't want to do that.
Not only that, but, like, you know, you want to practice your special teams, but you don't want to do it full speed. So it's like that's how you start the scrimmage, and it's like the kids are not. The way we started this scrimmage was like 3-on-3 with skill guys, defense versus offense, and then board drills with them. And it's like everybody's fired up. Everybody's doing something. We had JV groups. We had freshman groups.
But they're doing that in the NFL now. These teams are doing
That's it. Famous for
That's it.
They've been doing it for years.
It was really good, and I got to give them credit. It was kind of like they you know, we reached out for the scrimmage.
I got to give you the next person who just quoted. But I got to cut it because only one person.
No, it's a big time person. Yeah,
it's his mother. So when mom calls in and says,
you got to stop.
Good luck, love you. We
Mom.
stop talking and we give her the air.
Absolutely.
We give her the air.
Got it.
So joint, you're bigger on the joint.
I'm bigger on the joint, and next year going forward, I think that would be something I propose to other teams, and if they're not into it, then
because you're not going to get the best look when you're going against yourselves. Do you know what I'm saying? You're
no, you don't.
You just don't get
try.
it. I mean, you try.
And even this year, we went
half
into this
lines
year,
and all that, but you're still not going to do it.
We went into the season. We picked 3 guys that we thought can play one side of the ball. That lasted a week.
Exactly.
You know, you don't
work.
have it. You don't have it. You're not going to leave one of your best players not on, one side of the ball. So we just don't have. We have great numbers this year, but we don't have that type.
And you're not going to keep one of your best 11 and say, "I'm going to rest him." He's got to play. He's going to help you. He should be playing.
Got to play.
So, Mr. Gola said something yesterday we didn't know. Do you remember what he said to about what? No, but what this guy did right here with this head coach, what he did last year. Do you remember what he said?
My debut.
No.
School play.
He dropped it. He dropped it like real quick.
He did.
I played our guy.
He played the coach.
That was nuts.
So how did that come about?
Listen, all right. I'll say this. I am student-centric, kid-centric. This is why I'm in it. I'm not here. It's not about me. It's It's about them. And when they approached me last year, I was walking around with the book the whole, through the hallways because I was reading it. And one of the guy who runs the play, he asked if he could borrow it. And he's like, I said, no, you're not really a sports guy. And he's like, relax, I am a sports guy. Mm-hmm. And I'm thinking about doing it for the play. I said, have it. Have it. I said, I'm not done reading it, but when you're done, I'll take it back. Do it. Because I thought it was a great idea. And Hank was absolutely right. It brought the school together. Because how often are the athletes and the drama club
together? Yeah.
On the stage. And it was great because it was the drama club's domain. So, and the football guys fell in line.
We're joining in. Right.
They knew. Like,
it was their show.
We're not on the field right now.
Right.
We'll do what you need us to do, And that showed me a lot from those guys. It showed me a lot from the school in general.
That takes a lot to get. He did it.
I did.
And you know what? And a few of the players.
A lot of baseball kids did.
And they're like, come on.
I know.
He didn't want to do it.
I'll lead into that.
On stage.
In high school, I was like, it's not for me. It's not for me.
Do it.
But not that it's a regret. But when they approached me and they said, look, there's a couple scenes with Argour. We think it would be great if you did it. I'm not going to lie. The first thought that came in my head was, you can't play Art Argour.
Right.
So I haven't even coached the game yet,
Right.
But the kids were behind it, and I was like, what's the difference? Let's do it. Let's put myself
out
there. It was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun.
That gets you to another level of respect.
Right.
Absolutely.
You're not, up there. You're a level. You're gonna, you'll do all over, and that's what you
obviously, you got to be the authority, but they got to know that
you're a person.
And I think we've done a good job
doing
that this year.
Lorenzo's chiming in saying, best of luck, Petey, a new legacy to high school football in the making. Perfect man for the job.
Love that.
So thank you for the comment. Thank you. So
you're inheriting a good program.
Oh, absolutely. I was just going to get to that. 5-4 last year.
I don't need notes for that.
I give you notes. 5-4 last year.
Yeah.
But the losses that Garfield had, 28-14 to Glenrock, 5-4 ranked team. 21-6 to Rutherford, state champion, back-to-back state champion team. 14-7 to Hawthorne, 6-3. Lost to Lyndhurst, 4 losses there to real good teams.
Sure.
And close games.
I'm gonna put this out there. We're a good team.
Absolutely.
We're a good team. The thing is, the Glenrock game. You know how they beat us? On a reverse, where one guy didn't stay home. So it's just like the little things, you know. So like
Probably
you're right. These are
quarterback.
close games.
So you're
I was a
right.
linebacker, but
Okay.
it is what it is. He was aggressive.
So
He
you're
tried to
right
make a
there.
play. We're
You're right
there.
there.
Man. We're right there. And to go to what you said, inheriting a good team, I know that the roster is not going to look like this every year.
Sure.
We have athletes. We have athletes, like real athletes that have put in off-season work, that play multiple sports, that understand the winning and the losing and what goes with it. You know, we have a very large group of seniors and juniors. Like
That's nice.
I understand. Like I'm not always going to have this, so
Yeah.
this has to be. This
Because
is an opportunity.
Recruiting's tough.
Recruiting. There's no recruiting.
No, I'm trying to get the soccer guy to come out. That's what
You're
I'm
right.
talking about because
I get what you mean.
Garfield's so diverse
Yeah.
that when they play their sport,
Mhm.
like we had guys that we would try to kickers that didn't even speak English
Yeah.
back in the day,
But they're soccer. They're-
because they love their sport.
We actually have a kid who just came out, sophomore, who played soccer growing up, and he's like, I just want to be a kicker. Is that possible? I said, absolutely. I said, absolutely. So we have 2 of those guys right now. We have a senior
awesome.
and a sophomore. So that could be an element too,
And you
you know,
get
that
them-
helps us.
But you even get them; they don't even know they might love the sport until they're on the field.
And I could tell already the kid loves it.
That's
The
what-
kid
that's
who's a
the whole
senior.
thing.
He played as a freshman, then he didn't play as sophomore, junior, but
So
he
he has
was
some
dying to come
experience.
back. Like,
Yeah.
and he's a great team guy. He's even keeled.
By the
He's-
other way, the other half of the Santacroce
Oh, Pops.
Pops gave
Love
you a
too,
little.
Pops.
So proud of you. So
Yeah.
That's the whole thing. Is now you build, and the first thing anybody's going to look at that isn't a player is, well, did they win?
I know.
How'd they
So
do?
obviously,
and the
That
word
part
on
of
the
it?
street, because I've seen it, sleeping giant. They're
Sleeping
saying it's
giant.
a
I
sleeping
embrace
giant.
it.
So you know what?
I embrace it because
That's good.
the kids need to understand that they are a sleeping giant. They're waiting to do what their
Well,
potential really
well,
fit, you know.
To start off against Lodi,
It's a big one.
That's right there.
that could the snowball effect that could have, good and bad.
Yep.
Guys, the first 3 games of our season, let's just say the first 4 because then we have a bye week.
Lodi, Glen Rock, Rutherford.
Yeah.
Like Rutherford, man. You can't ask for more.
No,
And
That's
it's
Can't
away.
ask for more than that.
and
That's
at
a way.
Lodi.
Yeah. Starting
At
on the road
Lodi.
is great. Starting on the road is great.
So-
We don't mind it.
So talk about the division: NJIC, Colonial,
Yep.
Garfield, Lodi, Glen Rock, Manchester, Rutherford, Waldwick, Powell Park. So I mean, you see these teams in the playoffs every year. These teams.
We play in the NJIC is phenomenal. I met a
Absolutely.
lot of these guys at the coaches meeting, and it is such a nicely run league that they get along. They try to figure out what's the most fair, what's the best way to approach
And I love the
things.
conference.
We have
that
a
they do
playoff
now.
system
That's
so
awesome.
it's so
It's
interesting.
kind of like like an SEC.
It is.
thing.
It's
That's
really
what
great.
It's awesome.
really great, and it's exciting, and it's not like it's ultra like everyone's like on pins and needles. It's competitive, and that's how it's supposed to be. You know, it's like it's
And
really,
you're not playing
yeah.
crazy schools.
No, we're not. We're playing all schools that
You're
that
playing
they're just like us.
Right.
You know, they're just like us. It's absolutely
Yep.
fair. You know.
because I mean we would have to play Group 4 schools.
Right.
When I was in high school, we played
Yeah,
PCT.
yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
They come with 3 busloads and we go, we're done.
Yeah. Hello.
You know?
I'll tell you this much because I do like to tell this story because it's one of the best games I've ever coached in my life. As freshmen, me and Chris Pacherry were coaching freshmen. The senior class right now, we started the season 4-0, and Hackensack is on our schedule. So before the season, we're telling the AD like, Hackensack on schedule. He's like, let's see. You know, we got a lot of numbers. We had like 35 kids for a freshman team, which was great.
Yeah.
We went to Hackensack and we beat them 48-40.
That's it.
It was the most fun game.
But
And that was, for them, that was
Yeah.
like slaying a giant. It was great.
Yeah.
And Hackensack is never the greatest varsity team. 'Cause
Well,
all
they're
the-
good now.
Well, they're good now.
They're good
Back
now.
in the day, their players would go,
Yeah,
to
they
St.
lose some
Joe's,
Catholic.
yeah,
Yeah, they
yeah.
lose a lot
Grandma's
of Catholic
Catholic.
school. Yeah.
Something like that.
But they're good right
But
now.
as
They're very
freshmen,
good.
mentally,
Yeah.
to go there,
Yeah.
that's
And it was a
Absolutely.
grind out game. It was like they scored, we answered. It was great. It was a really great game.
yeah, that's great.
So the league in general, what do you would you say Rutherford's the favorite because they were? I know you smile.
I don't wanna pick
Going in,
favorites.
but
I don't
going
wanna
in,
pick-
I mean,
yeah.
put it this way, they got the bullseye on them because of
Of
what
course,
they
the
are.
Bullseyes on their
Yes,
The
back,
bullseye, what
back
they
to
are.
back, and they're a program team. Like everyone's like, oh, they lost some guys. Well,
Absolutely,
they're a program
absolutely.
team,
They're gonna reload.
They understand.
They're gonna reload.
Their kids are well trained. Like they know what they're doing. They're gonna be good.
Yep.
They're gonna be good. Glen Rock has a senior quarterback that's a great athlete. He's a wrestler. He's
Always
proper,
good. And
very
then you
good.
said from
They'll show
third
you-
grade in.
Yep.
Boom.
They're running that system.
They're running that system.
Absolutely.
And they'll show you when we do our formation sheets that week. It's 15 different
Yeah.
formations. So they're gonna give it, and Waldwick's up this year. Manchester's gonna
How's
be.
Lodi?
Lodi's gonna be good.
Yeah.
And listen, it does not matter what's happening.
Oh, that's
with
why.
Garfield
That's
or
why.
Yeah.
That's gonna be a battle.
That's the
Opening night.
That's the game. So there is nothing. But Lodi is always.
See, when
tough,
we
man.
played, it was
Lodi's
never.
like us.
We never had them early. Like you have all
Yes,
summer. It's
we had
Lodi,
them.
Garfield.
I know.
So you're getting.
One year, senior year they did, but they won the state.
Oh, they were state
Yeah,
champ.
yeah.
But we were both 3-0.
That was a good class. Maj is actually. You played on that team, I believe.
Which one?
Maj, yeah. He's the coach over there.
I don't know if he was on that
No.
team.
No, it was Sizzo and
Well, he might have been on that team. I don't know if he was on the team.
Well, we're hanging out and I was with a couple guys with our jerseys on. We just left films.
Yeah.
And we're in Lodi at the Burger King. And there's a few people pull up with their Lodi jerseys on. And we were talking, but
Man,
cops just pull up.
it's happening here.
He goes, guys, save it for tomorrow.
Yeah.
No, we weren't even arguing.
No, but
It was
Yeah,
just
it was
like-
just yeah.
He just said, guys,
tension.
you go there, you go there, leave.
It's Lodi Garfield is such a great game. It's great to have it opening day, but it would be nice like a little bit
A
later.
little-
in the
yeah, a little
year.
later in the
So
year.
you can do like a homecoming thing, or you can do a
Yeah.
pep rally or something
So-
like that.
But you gotta tell you this: if you can't get,
If you can't get
fired
up
up for that
Lodi,
game, opening day Lodi or Garfield,
nah,
either
they're
or.
fired up.
Come on.
They're
So
fired
you
up.
don't put Elmo Parks now.
No, they're on the other side of our conference division, whatever you would call it. We played them last year on the bye week. Our bye weeks didn't match up this year, so we're actually keeping a bye this year. We're
Oh,
gonna
okay.
keep it. I'm gonna see how it goes. I think we're gonna set up a trip to Rutgers,
Nice.
bring the guys over there. So
That's
Oh,
awesome.
boys, if you're listening, not 100% yet.
There you
It's
go,
in the
there you
works.
go.
It's in the works.
Right.
So let's talk about the boys. Let's talk about the team, some
Talk about the
players.
boys.
You said very athletic team,
We have very
very
athletic.
athletic coming down. Mention some of the seniors. The
Yeah.
floor is yours.
All right. We have a lot of returning starters. We have two guys returning on the line. One who we could call him returning. He didn't get all the reps last year. He's a junior now. They're three big kids. We have another junior who actually moved here last year, too late to play football, but he's going to be our center. And then we have another senior, two seniors actually, that are just rotating in at the other tackle, and we're seeing who's going to get it. We have a senior tailback. We have a senior fullback. We have a senior quarterback, but we have a junior quarterback. And right now they're splitting reps because no one has really took it.
Okay.
But which is fine. I have nothing against playing both of them.
Yep.
They do different things well, and we'll use them in the best
Two more
situation
options.
possible. We have senior receiver. We have senior slot. We have a lot of guys, and the two tight ends I mentioned. So the athleticism comes. We have almost the entire starting basketball team on the football team. And they're not little kids. They're big boys. They're big boys. So we're talking about big kids who are also, they can run, they can catch, they can, our tailback as a freshman, but then we had other running backs when he came up, and he's been playing the slot, but he looks
running back.
he looks really good. He looks really good. We played Heights in our game scrimmage, and I think he averaged about 6 yards a catch.
Nice.
So
And
that
that's
looked
a
good.
premier.
And Heights is
and
a
they're
premier team.
Group 1 school.
Premier Group 1 school. And they showed it because we made 3 mistakes in the game.
Yeah, that's when they scored.
And
Yeah.
3 mistakes, they capitalized on it.
There are no
So it was a
separate-
great learning experience for us. The kids had their heads down a little bit after the game. I said, pick your heads up. We played really, we
Absolutely.
played good.
Yeah.
I watched the film. I came back and I said, boys, I know why your heads were down. I
It's
said,
things you could fix.
you were
It's-
hanging with them and you shot yourself in the foot. So remember that. Put it here. Put it here because you were justified to be a little upset that
And that
day,
helps now because you know what? You made the mistake.
Yep.
You get the time to fix it, and now it's ready for
Yeah.
the regular
hopefully,
season.
Yeah. So athletically, that's offense, and defense is going to be our rock there, man. I believe last year I was looking at the stats. Coach Riggs gave it to me. We gave up 11 points per game last year.
Wow.
That's like ranking in the county, like against
Yeah.
all schools. So we got some guys out there that they fly around, and that really should carry us this year. Should carry us.
But Riggs knows his stuff, so
That's it.
Riggs,
Yeah.
he's always
been there.
prepared, man. He's
Always.
always prepared.
always.
Yeah, he's
That's
been a great
great.
asset. Him and Dawson. They got the experience, and then we got the young guys.
So what do you think you're going to do right now? It's a tie game Saturday.
Here you go.
6 minutes
It's a
in.
prepared
6
question.
minutes in on at the 50.
Tie
It's
game.
4th and 1. What are you doing?
You're
Attaboy.
You're kidding me.
Attaboy.
Listen,
Briggs' putting. Who's
if
he
I-
kidding?
Hey,
Briggs' putting.
No,
if you
way.
said the 40, I would hesitate, but I might still. If you said the 30, I'm punting.
Right.
But
30 to punt. 40.
midfield, I need a yard.
You're
They
going.
have to know.
If you
Let's
don't
go.
listen, you don't get it. You don't deserve
Let's
to
go.
win that.
And that's nothing. Like I said, I just said 2 seconds ago that defense is going to
Yep.
be what carries us. So everyone's probably like, well, why wouldn't you punt it?
You got to punt, but you got to go for that.
You got to get me that.
Yeah,
And if we
absolutely.
don't get it, then the defense.
Listen,
will
Then
do it.
you know what? Defense hold.
That's it.
Defense
That's
might
it.
win you Super Bowls, but you have to have points on the board.
Absolutely.
You can't
Absolutely.
lose if you give up 0, but you
Right.
can't win anything.
You know, it's
gotta have
like you're watching a game, it's 3-0, you're like, oh man, it's fourth. Well, you can't win
Yeah, unless you get
unless
those
you
3.
get the 3 or the 7 or the 6. So it doesn't
Absolutely.
matter.
What's going to be going through your mind though Saturday? Like you're doing this,
Yeah,
you're going to
yeah,
practice, but
Yeah,
you
but-
get off that bus on Saturday, and you're in that locker room, you got to talk to those kids, and then
It's
you're
not a
walking on
problem.
that field. But is it going to be a little different for you? It's a little,
I mean, the Heights game, the game scrimmage helped because the night before, I was walking around, I was pacing my apartment, make sure everything's ready, all that. So I'm like, man, how am I gonna be tomorrow?
Yeah.
Because I've done this before. I'm good at talking to kids. I'm good at reaching them, motivating them. That's like one of my strong suits, and
But you had to feel
when I got to Heights though, goes out the window.
Yeah.
Like
I
it's
am
like
here.
there's a routine. We have to get this done. It's like you don't have time to like
But
be
you know
thinking
what?
about the moment.
When- when the national anthem stops. Because I remember on the field,
It's a great feeling.
on the
It is.
field,
Yeah.
and we didn't have that responsibility you're going to have.
Yeah.
When they blow that whistle for the kickoff,
Yeah.
and I'm running towards it,
It's exciting, man.
you're not getting.
You're gonna get the chills. You're
Yeah.
gonna get the butterflies.
You're
You're gonna
gonna
get
go-
all that. But if you don't get that, you're not in the moment.
Right.
Absolutely.
You gotta be there.
But
You
it's,
gotta
as a head coach
embrace it.
now, all the stuff with the water filled, with the
Yeah.
that all comes together.
Yeah. Well, one thing I do have to get better at is delegating some of those things. In the past, we've had like injured players do it, or guys that they want to be a manager, which is great. That's guys are really motivated to play this year, and they're out there. Like I don't really have guys that are just sitting around like doing that type of stuff. The 2 guys that I mentioned are just kickers. They step in, and during practice, they'll bring water to the group when they're in between their little kicking stuff or whatever. But I got to get a little bit better at like delegating. We have captains now, so they should pick maybe 2 people, whatever. Because I've been running.
I was
going to
ask you that. How many captains?
We have 4 captains right now.
Okay, season captains or game captains?
In the beginning, we elected 2 as a coaching staff, and we originally said that the team was going to elect the other 2. And what we have is 2 awards. We have a Hammer Award and a Hard Hat Award. So the Hammer Award is the guy that's coming, he's making plays and all that. The Hard Hat is the guy that's a great practice guy. You don't have to be the star of the team. You're at practice every day. You might be a scout team guy.
Sure.
You're giving us the best look possible. You're a teammate. You're picking your guys up when you tackle them or whatever. So we have those 2 awards, and the 2 guys that won it, really, they were seniors, and they filled into these roles, and they really took this captain thing, and like it
So
seems like
the
these
2 guys
4
are seniors, so they're all
Mhm.
seniors.
All seniors.
Okay.
So we got Kenny Richardson, who's a fullback linebacker. We got Charles Davis, who's a guard and D end. We got Mike Alfonso, who's a guard and a D tackle, and we have Nakai Graham, who's a receiver and D back. So, and they all fit like, we have 2 guys who are not so much talkers; they're just doers. They do the right thing. We have
So
the
it's a
other
good
guys.
blend.
It's a great
It's a
blend,
good
and
blend.
it's been good. And they're not, to me, they're not like fake captains. Like the team does follow them, and they do the right things. 90% of the time, we'll say, because they're kids and
That's
they're going to make
kids.
mistakes. So, but it's been good, and they've earned it. They've earned it. They've been 4-year players. They've put in the work. So
I get a
they've earned it.
question. How was your first pep rally as head coach?
We didn't have pep rally.
You didn't have pep rally?
No. We
When
just
you
started
doing it?
school today. They usually let school settle in before they
Oh, they
do
don't do
pep rally.
We did it before our
Before the
first
first
game. Yeah,
game.
we
Yeah,
did.
no,
that's
we don't
why
do
I
it
did.
anymore. So our pep rally, I believe, is going to be before the Rutherford game, which is on a Saturday,
Friday.
but it's a Friday
Friday
after
Yeah.
school, which is good
And it can
because
work out. It can work out.
Well, ours
Where-
where-
wasn't
Stop
Saturday.
it.
It was not a game day.
well, no, we did it Friday.
the 4 years that I was on staff, it was pep rally was the last period of the day on a game day. So it's
See, we didn't.
pandemonium.
We
after
really
that.
didn't play
Yeah.
Fridays. We didn't play
Yes,
Fridays,
we got
so
lucky
that's what it
so we
was.
played
So,
Friday, yeah.
Right.
So I think it's gonna work out a little bit better this year. Although
Now, do you have, and I'm going back,
go for it.
anything sticker-wise that is going to go on these? For
We have
touchdowns?
we have award stickers.
You do?
So we have little hammers, sledgehammers
Gotcha.
in the same gold that's the stripe.
Okay.
And we give them out for like a hitman award,
Yeah, yeah,
we got
yeah.
interception.
Then you do like group
touchdowns.
one, like, you know, running back gets over 100, the O-line gets
O-line
100,
gets one, absolutely.
all
Yeah,
that kind
yeah,
of
yeah.
stuff.
Absolutely.
Because you know what? That little thing.
Oh, they love
Oh,
it.
yeah.
They love it. They love it.
You know, even if you watch
And
college,
even
college
Yeah.
guys have
All over
everything
the
on, they're
place.
holding up their
not only
fire.
that, they want like the turnover
Oh,
chain or whatever.
yeah.
Do you see the one with the cane?
Yeah.
The team has the cane now. Turnover cane.
I go,
They walk around with a
Who's
cane.
that?
I don't
said
remember
to
what team
them-
it was.
I said, guys, you know I'm all for that.
Yeah.
I love it. I said, but you understand they play one side of the ball. You have an interception. I'm gonna
You know,
put the
wear
chain
the
on.
chain, get it
I'm
right
gonna
off.
take it off.
Yeah.
You gotta go play receiver.
You get a
So-
sticker.
You wear that chain on off, wear the chain on
Yeah,
Monday.
yeah.
Films. I mean,
But
that's not
our
going to happen.
D-line coach, I'll give him this because I think it's great. Our D-line coach got like a chain off Amazon and it says Savage with like fake diamonds.
Yeah.
So he gives it to the best D-lineman of the week, and
Okay.
they wear it in school.
Oh,
They wear it in
nice.
school.
That's cool.
That's
Yeah.
great.
It's
That's cool.
See,
But something
nowadays
like that
there's
is
so much-
cool. You
Yeah, they
know?
love it. And
Yeah.
listen,
You know what it is? There's so
if these guys at college programs are doing this,
Right. Why can't
there's
high
a
school
reason.
program-
There's a
Right.
reason
It
because
becomes
that's this generation.
acceptable. Back then, that stuff
Yeah.
wasn't out there.
No.
You couldn't do. Now it's wow, that's great, and the parents are into it. And
Yeah.
it's more of a pride thing. It's great.
It is.
It really
And the
is.
kids look forward to that. The
Yeah.
kids want that. Like you're saying, it's the generation.
It is.
Yeah.
It's totally.
And
it's not.
we
you
can
know.
sit here and complain about the generation, or we can embrace it. These kids are
That-
great.
that's
They're
it,
great.
yeah.
Yeah.
But it's a different.
It's a different.
You know, if listen,
style.
in Lodi, if you're down, just suit him up. Because
Suit him up.
I can see it. I'll come. What time Saturday?
Yeah.
Not happening.
What-
You gotta remember. You gotta remember.
That will
everybody's-
not happen.
Everybody's still bigger than him. So
I
just
get away with it. I
Yeah.
get away
We're
with
not
it.
trying to get away with nothing.
we'll put carrot
We
on.
play clean. We play clean.
That would be a disadvantage.
Might be.
Ah,
Might be.
You're
You
like,
can
who's
cover
the
it
guy
up.
with the gray hair?
linebacker.
Linebacker.
Yeah.
Yeah, you couldn't cover back then.
I
You
didn't
covered
want
it.
Our linebackers covered.
Forget it.
I'll
All right.
send me. Blitz me.
Let's
All right,
say
yeah.
Blitz me.
we had a
We'll send him
linebacker
a
that was 120.
Oh my God.
If that,
Nah, we're good. We
that's great. Though. I'm only joking.
So let's ask this: have you changed anything? Like, do you have a specialized practice routine, or are you kind of like on a
I
basic?
changed it up a little bit, but at the end of the day, football's football. You got to get certain things done.
Yeah.
But in a sense of like just trying to throw maybe a 15-minute period in the middle of the practice where like it's like a hype period or a competition period. I actually saw it.
But there's a lot of new rules now, right? Like you can't
Oh, no,
hit
no,
a
no.
certain
Yeah.
time and all that. That's totally changed.
For the most part, like the rule is you can't take them to the ground. It's not
Right,
full
right.
contact. So for the most part, every drill we do is thud.
Right, you thud
It's
up
not.
yeah.
We blow the whistle quick, and we're not trying to beat up
Yeah.
our own guys. Just
Sure.
make sure you're going to the right spot. You're getting there, without getting blocked, and that's it. We do have to do some just tackling
You
drills
have
in
to.
groups. We
Yeah.
do that, but real quick, 5 minutes, get some tackles in, and that's it.
But are you more on a like longer practice, shorter practice? You mix it up, or do you like get
We mix it
running off
up.
the field?
Yesterday was a long practice. We had to do some film. We lifted, so we were out there till 6. Today we were off the field by 5:15. So we tell the kids, look, I'm going to give you a time frame. This is, just say every day 3 to 6. If you're out
Right,
early,
you're out
great.
early, right?
But
But be prepared to stay to 6.
and like we obviously plan a practice, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, 25. But if we don't get it done,
You gotta
we're not
Right,
going
right.
to just be like, nah, we're
Right, right. You gotta get it done.
Finish
You
it.
gotta
We
get
got
it done.
15 plays we got to run. We're going to run 15 plays.
Yeah, you can't just.
But just like these things, like competition, like the thing I was saying we did with anything else, like 3-on-3, whatever. Like these are things you're getting work done, but it's competitive. Can they score? We do it from the 10-yard line. Like you got to stop them. You got to score. We do something called like I learned this at a clinic from a coach from Florida. He calls it backyard football, but I thought it was.
I was
really-
just about to say that's basic competitiveness.
Yeah,
3-on-3.
So we call it like I don't mean this in any way, but we call it best on best. So instead of like putting just we mix guys up. All right, it's an offensive practice, but our wide receiver is going to play corner because that's what he plays when we play
Of
defense.
course.
So now at least we're getting the best, as best we
Absolutely.
could get 11 on 11.
Listen, most of the time,
So they
your
find that fun.
your top offensive
So-
players are your top.
Yeah,
defensive
that's how it
players.
is
It's
in
just
our
how it
programs.
is.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
how it is. We do have some depth, but still, at the end of the day,
They're athletes.
Absolutely. But you know what? I just think it's so much better. You have the athletes, and then
Yeah.
like,
Oh,
or as
yeah,
opposed
yeah.
to say, I have
Where am
these.
I
Look,
finding
I don't
these
have the right. I don't have the athlete because you can coach that athlete up.
And really, they want to play both sides. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Like, because they're already used to it. That's what they've done, since freshman, sophomore, whatever, and they want to.
Why would you want to come off the field?
But we do have to tell it, like,
Do you have some guys that never come off the field on their specials, everything, or you try to give them a little break?
We have some guys. So, like, the kid who's our captain, he's our fullback and middle linebacker. Not every set we have on offense has a fullback. So, to me, it's like he can be on
That's his little break, right? He gets a little break, yeah.
Tight end, same thing. Like, those guys, we don't always come out with a tight end. And if we do, it's definitely not always two. So, somebody is on the sideline. So, and we do have a rotation going on the D-line, so that gives those guys a little break. But offensively, the 5 offensive linemen are pretty much out there. We try to get we got to get them off the field because you can't win a game. Like, we try to mix them in as much as we could. But one of the things that we did have to really stress to these guys that, like, when you come off the field, it's not punishment. Like, there's another guy right behind you who can play.
Exactly.
So, like, that, you got to look at that as a benefit to us. He's on your team.
Yeah.
Like, so during 7-on-7, that was a big thing because they don't get tired during 7-on-7. They want to run the routes. It's fun. And we're like, guys, you got to understand, it's a benefit to have a roster like this. Like,
we got a couple of comments here. By the way, this is breaking. This is the first time our friend Bubendorf
I see that. But
has been on. I'm not even going to say Joe Viggs' quote.
Say Joe Viggs,
but Joe Viggs is commenting in.
Yeah,
Say hi to Joe.
Hey, Joe.
There's Joe. So what else about? Give me more about the kids. Give me more about the players. Give me. What else?
We want like their personalities or what they do on the field.
I mean, how do you, like, you talk to them? I mean, I've known you since you were 10 years old, so I know how you are.
Yeah.
Those kids obviously knew you as a freshman coach growing up.
Listen,
stuff,
I think
you treat them when you're talking to them. Is it more like, I'm not saying as a friend, but I'm saying more as like, hey, you're acting up. Like,
absolutely.
You're doing this, you're doing that,
Never like a friend, but level playing. Like,
right.
Level, So even as a teacher, I always used to say, especially my colleagues that are young like me, whatever, we have this approach like, they used to tell us respect is given, is earned, not given, right? Whatever. As a teacher, give them respect and they'll give it to you.
Yep.
Give them the respect and they'll give it to you. Yes, you're the authority. Yes, you are the final say or whatever. But it's a much smoother working relationship when they believe you, they trust you.
That goes into business when you're in charge of people.
Absolutely. And in this role that I'm playing now, like the 4 years I coached as a freshman really helped because I built the rapport with these guys. Because not only, I coached them for a season in freshman, but now I'm an assistant on the varsity, and I'm the guy when they come off the field and they're getting reamed out. He's right.
Yep.
You got to understand that. He's not mad at you, but he's coaching.
Right.
Like, you got to understand. So I was that guy. So I'm not saying I'm not that guy anymore, but now I'm the guy that's like, reaming you out a little bit.
And somebody else has to do that.
But the kids know from the rapport I built with them, the foundation I built with them, that it's all love, and they don't take it in a way where it's like,
and that's going to be, but that's going to be key for you because that's going to last through these kids,
right? And
then
the next group is going to sing, right?
Absolutely, because the new groups coming in are not going to know me. They're going to know me as that guy, But I told them straight up, like I said, guys, I'm fortunate to have you as my first team because you already know me, I know you, and we can build this together. That makes it
a little easier on you too. Where I'm saying those kids know you, they know,
and
based on that though, on that thought process, you get involved. You just showing up at freshman practices.
They practice with us.
Okay.
So for camp, we really went in with the approach that everyone coaches everyone. So I really designated like, you are the offensive line coach, you're the defensive line coach, you're the defensive back coach. And when it's a varsity offensive day, those guys are coaching the JV and the freshman defensive groups.
Now, did you bring any freshmen up, or are they freshmen or freshmen?
Freshmen or freshmen. They're going to play some JV because, to be honest with you, now
it's the same.
Really
there's no freshmen. True freshmen.
It's some varsity.
Right. Yeah.
Not many teams have a true freshman. So we have one kid. And I'm not going to say he's going to play varsity, but he can boot the ball. So he may be our kickoff guy. Like, he can put it into the end zone. So that, I'm open to that. I don't see a freshman kid yet in our program that can really play. They're good. They're fast. They're athletic.
But it's a different
animal.
It's an 18-year-old kid.
Even now, we have, right now, like I said, we're very fortunate to have a lot of juniors and seniors. We have one sophomore who's getting legitimate, like, reps with the varsity guys, and he's going to see some game time. And even he came to us and said, Coach, we only ran cover 3 last year. What's going on? Like, I'm lost. And the defense coordinator said, so stop getting mad when I'm yelling at you because your athleticism got you by on the freshman
Right.
level. And even on the
Totally.
JV level. Like,
Right.
you didn't need to really know exactly
But here
where
it's
you're.
assignment.
Here,
you don't know what you're doing.
You're out of
an
assignment.
You're
You
done.
are getting embarrassed.
You're
You're
done.
gonna
I don't
be-
care if you're a better athlete than that kid.
No.
You're,
That's exactly.
misalignment.
So he's learning that, and that's the part.
The
like, it's hard.
physicality, though, like he said, I remember when sophomore we played.
Oh, yeah.
I played against Malawi. I put a over the middle.
Yeah.
Kumar, who's a defensive lineman, went to Rutgers.
It's a different animal.
Yeah.
You know,
You're like, that didn't happen last
And
year.
you're this too. You're
Like,
never
wow.
used to doing that because
Then I
you're
have-
always on your level.
Yeah.
You're always playing. All right,
It's
seventh
a-
grade,
it-
eighth
it's
grade.
a
You're not
big
playing somebody
No.
It's a
3
big
years
jump.
older than you.
3 years older at that stage of life.
Yeah.
By the way, you got
It's
another
exactly-
comment. If you want to
Oh,
give a
man.
shout out.
Love you, man, Teresa.
Want to give a shout out. So that's but it's got to be exciting. You know what I mean? Like you're getting closer and
Yeah,
closer.
it's
Now
real
it's going to
now.
be fun. Like you guys do. What's your Friday schedule? Because you were playing Saturday.
Being that we play Saturday.
Walk through Friday.
Yeah, we got our walkthrough practice. One of the coaches was talking about at the program he played at, they did like family dinner the night before the game.
The first
Okay.
game or all the games?
He did it before all the games,
Okay.
but that's probably not in the cards for us. But I was thinking about it, like maybe not this game because it's short notice, but before the homecoming game.
That's what I was just going to say.
Yeah,
Homecoming.
They do an alumni like barbecue and all that.
Okay.
But the truth is, a lot of our kids' parents are not alumni. They're
Right.
moved from somewhere else, whatever. But I want to bring them in. Like I actually went to the GJB end of the year like dinner. That atmosphere they have with the parents there is really great, and like I want to bring that to the high school level,
Sure.
like because you were saying about the players, like we have a great season this year. More players are probably going to come out next year. I don't want it to be like that where people don't come to the game unless we're winning. Because this year, yeah, we may have some success.
But the problem
But
is
going forward, I want it to be something where people are enjoying coming out on a Friday
Yeah.
night, come to the field, calm down, see people.
well, that's the thing is winning starts that.
It does.
But-
It does.
Social media
Spreads
right
that.
now could spread that like wildfire
Absolutely.
on the right situation.
Absolutely.
So yeah, that's
Absolutely.
that's.
By the way, Mayor Riggs just commented, "It's your time. Go Boilermakers."
Riggs.
Hey.
Appreciate it, Riggs. Thank you.
What do we still call him? Coach Riggs. He's
Coach Riggs.
He's mayor/coach.
He was your freshman football coach?
First one. We were the
And-
first team.
and
his
my
first
We were his
team,
first team.
It's awesome.
Yeah,
We were
it
his
was-
first team.
And we had fun at the feast with him. It was great.
Absolutely.
That
He's
was
great.
great.
He's great.
But man.
So
What else you got?
what else I got? I got a lot of
I
stuff.
know.
What else I
That's
got? Getting back to your so walkthrough.
Yeah.
Like on a Friday. So let me ask you something. Usually, which more of your game? You usually play Friday nights, would you say?
Usually play
okay, it's
Friday nights. Yeah. So Thursdays
So
I
Thursday
got a
walkthrough.
walkthrough.
So do you guys practice Monday? Like is Monday a legit practice?
Well,
Or films lift?
films lift, but we get on the field because
Game plan a little bit. You'll start
Yeah,
getting
yeah,
your stuff
absolutely.
in.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
100%. Yeah. Especially like Riggs, he watches. Once he's done with film, like he's already watching film for Glenn.
Yeah.
So he's prepared on Monday.
Now, there's a lot of TBAs. Are they Friday
TBA,
games?
no. Well, with games that there's an opponent or not.
No. It says for Palisades, Leonia. It says the time to be Leonia TBA.
I don't want to put out any false
Rick.
information. The school is the one that decides it, but I believe the 27th is the homecoming game, so maybe that's why. I don't know.
Gotcha.
Could be a 7:30.
So your homecoming game is who?
Leonia.
I think it's Palisade Park, but the
Okay.
school really decides on that. Like,
Okay, so you guys really
Oh,
don't
it's the
have
same
that
game, I
say.
see.
no, I mean they ask me, and
Okay.
I'm kind of like
Whatever they want to do, they do.
yeah, that's the difference.
It's just
Whenever the
scheduling
homecoming
purposes,
is. Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, it obviously has to be a home game.
Oh,
Other
yeah.
than that, it don't matter. So.
So here's what we want to do. We were talking about it. We want to have him weekly show, weekly coaches
I would
show.
love
We
it.
want to, like we're saying, the social media aspect.
Yeah, it would be
We got to
great.
get to the games.
We want to work on a
other stuff.
college game day. We were talking about that.
would be,
Get
that
the
would be a
school
lot of
involved.
fun.
Show up.
Yeah.
We're gonna have
Listen,
a segment. I'm gonna break news right now. He doesn't even know this. We're gonna have Can You Beat Briggsy? We're gonna bring like students out, race them, have them cover breaks. Let's see
Race
if Briggs
me,
can run
please.
around on them.
I can-
Stuff like that.
please.
Can't you see
how
it?
many of those races would you win?
None.
None. I couldn't even
Can you
get
see
a
him
chair.
racing in?
I
Maybe
could-
have dress pants,
Yeah,
dress
yeah,
shirt,
yeah.
running a 7
Run down a parking lot.
Yeah,
This is what I
Yeah.
did. I'm not. No.
that would be great.
No, but we're gonna look to do some.
No, that would be a
food,
lot
some
of fun.
stuff.
Absolutely,
be a
we're
lot
gonna
of
do a
fun.
lot.
And I hope you guys are open to it. Like, one of the things that I wanted to do as far as, the program in general is involve the cheerleaders, involve the
Absolutely.
involve them, because that's what's going to bring, like I was saying, I
Excitement.
want people to come to the
Absolutely.
games. It should not just
We
be
want
about
to do a
us,
live stream from there, have, like you're saying, cheerleaders, band members,
Yeah.
everybody, parent, coach.
It's
Well, I
great.
mean,
It's
coaches, you guys are
Alumni.
busy. Alumni.
That's what
That's
we
what
can
we
work
want.
on, too.
Coach
Alumni.
Mucha, Coach DeVito, the
Absolutely.
former coach.
Absolutely.
Great. Great.
Absolutely.
There's so
Former
much,
players,
there's so much
Miles,
possibility, and we're gonna put the time and effort in.
We want to do it.
And I'm sure the cooperation on both
Oh, yeah.
sides.
Absolutely.
I'm in. You
I mean,
guys,
and you know
whatever
like
you
you're
need
saying,
from
this
me.
is it's 2020. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like, that's
This
what
is
it
fired
is.
up.
Yeah.
That's what it is. Like, you want
I
to get
think
it out.
I think it would be a huge hit. Like, I think people would
Yeah.
love it.
I
Like, the
think
people on campus and people on social media too.
Well,
It'd be great.
I think alumni would love it because I don't think
There's not much that we do.
people are asked.
I get what you mean.
I think people were willing, and I'm sure people are asked on a daily basis,
Yeah.
hey, this, but not as a group going,
Yeah,
we're
guys.
doing this,
Yeah.
we're doing this, come
Right,
on
yeah.
down.
And get the
You know,
school involved. Get
that's
the
what I'm talking
students
about.
involved. We want, like, the student,
I'm telling you,
like,
just I think there's people out there willing to raise their hand, but they're probably not asked.
They got to be pulled off the bench.
that's
Like,
it.
come on,
That's
let's
it.
go.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
But I mean, come on, it's great.
I think
You know,
it would be,
it's
I
great.
think it would be a great idea. When you proposed it to me, I was like, wow, that's something that I'm into.
You an NFL football fan?
Yeah, of course.
What team?
Cowboys, baby.
Oh, that's right. He's a.
Cowboys.
All right, so we're
But-
gonna.
So wait, I want to
I'll
get off
just-
subject real quick.
That's what I'm saying,
Can I
we're
say
gonna
this?
switch,
though?
yeah.
Can I say this?
Sure.
Cowboys fan, for sure.
But
But I'm not like.
A realistic Cowboy fan.
No, I'm realistic,
That's
and
what I
I'm
mean.
not like, oh my god, I gotta watch that. Like,
so you're not.
I'm a fan of football.
Okay.
I'm a fan of football.
So-
I like going to the Jets games. It's fun. I like doing these
So
things.
like
I like
us.
watching all the games. I like watching the
No,
Rams.
No,
Not like
Oh,
us.
you guys
Not like
are.
us.
You
Not
guys
like
are
us.
Broncos
No, we-
fans.
Well, let me ask you, because I did this all the time.
Yeah.
When you're watching a game.
Yeah.
I love that play.
I know.
Draw it up and write it up. Get it in. Like,
I
all
was
the
I was
time.
just about to tell you
Aren't
one,
you
but I'm
like-
not
aren't
going to tell
you
you.
like-
I did it last
seriously.
year. The Rams ran one.
That's
I said,
it.
What the
Get it
hell
in.
was that? I said, I got.
This is my mentality all the time. If an NFL defense
Can't.
looks stupid on it,
Uh,
is a high school team.
I
Now,
know.
I'm not going to say you have Todd Gurley,
No.
but you know what? You're going to put him in that situation
Yeah.
where that
See what
defense is
happens.
looking, saying,
Yeah, the scheme.
what the hell
the
is that?
scheme
That scheme.
Hopefully, the scheme.
If they can't cover it, a high school coach can cover it? No way.
Switch subjects here. Sam. We brought up Dallas. Do you like the signing this morning or last night or whatever,
All right.
6:10 a.m.?
So I was doing my fantasy football draft last night, and with like the 7th pick, the kid drafted him, and nobody made a comment. I'm like, what the hell? I thought he wasn't signed. They're like, nah, he's signed. I'm too busy. I was on the field.
Yeah.
I couldn't keep up.
Of course.
I don't know what he signed for.
Wait,
but-
did you pass him?
No.
Did you have a shot?
No, I was 12th.
So you didn't have a shot.
I was
Okay.
He was signed for $90 million.
6-year
Over 6 years.
extension.
So, I
he
mean,
did.
listen. The money is like, you can't
Give
get
it-
caught up in it. You
No.
can't get caught up in it. You got it. I think we had to sign that.
You need him.
Okay.
Dak Prescott is.
That's my next
People
question.
can give you, oh, they won this many games without Ezekiel Elliott. He needs that element of the game.
Absolutely.
And other guys have been saying, look, the first 4 games of their season, they should be able to run the ball with
Sure.
whoever's out there. Show him that you don't need him.
No.
That's
Why?
not the
Why?
risk.
Why?
Why?
The money's the money. They make
Right,
billions.
exactly.
Forget it.
I'll give it to. I was listening to Dan Patrick today. I don't know if you listen to Dan
Yep.
Patrick. I love him. And he goes, you can't buy a Ferrari and then in 5 years when it needs like a tune-up and it costs $50,000, be like, nah,
No.
I don't want it.
You can't keep
The same
rebuilding.
thing's gonna
No.
happen with the
And you know what?
Giants. Like,
You got the
Saquon
best-
Barkley's gonna get paid eventually. What are you
Absolutely.
gonna get mad when he
He's
gets
going to be
paid?
the highest paid running back
course.
of all time when he comes up.
How
to
about
it.
this? What's his name? One of these quarterbacks? I think it's Goff. He's up for.
He
He
just
just
got it
signed.
too.
Okay.
He got it too.
The
Huh?
next guy is gonna make more than him.
Absolutely.
Right, but
So now
he's-
Patrick Mahomes is making less. than
Right, exactly.
It's just the way it
Goff
works,
actually
you
now is the highest player in NFL history.
Yeah, and in
But that's just
in
the
a
way it
year
goes.
when the next
110,
guy.
right.
That's just the way it's
gonna
going.
You know what? It's the Kirk Cousins dilemma.
Oh,
He
it's the
started it,
worst.
and it was the worst.
I
Kirk
know.
wanted to sign
bad.
him.
I did want him, but you know
Yeah,
what?
well, I thought
said,
you were
but-
gonna.
But you know what?
I said
When your
30 million.
options, Trevor Simeon or Kirk Cousins,
I hear
you're
you.
signing Kirk
I hear you.
Cousins.
Not for 30 million.
You just said don't worry
Well,
about the
you
money.
said don't worry
Don't worry about the money,
Right,
right?
but-
Don't worry about it.
But don't worry about the money with Ezekiel Elliott.
Yeah.
When he's
I get what you
top
mean.
2 back.
Yeah,
You know,
You
It's
want wait. She never lets me.
I know. I let Pete talk, but not you.
yeah.
When you got a second-tier quarterback that's in the low teens, high 20s, and he's the example of $30 million, he's taking too much of your cap space.
Yeah.
I know, it is.
That's why I didn't want him. He wasn't good enough. Ezekiel Elliott's good enough to take that space. Now, what do you do with the quarterback?
But see, with Dallas, it's different.
Tough.
You got the best offensive line, and you have Zeke Elliott right there. How do you just not? I mean,
You have to.
you got
and
because that's your team.
You say we have the best offensive line, and we probably do, but in 2 years, they're getting old.
Right,
I mean,
right.
we're almost on the
Well,
top of
that's
the
why-
hill
Do it
right
now.
You know?
Their
So you
philosophy,
gotta go now. You
just
gotta
like
go
in the
now.
90s, they had the best offensive line.
Yeah.
Emmett
Yeah.
was a perfect running back for that. Aikman.
Well,
But here's the problem. Is your quarterback
Gonna be worth what
Worth-
you pay.
because his stats are actually better than Goff. They had a
I'll
whole
be
thing
honest
there.
with you. I like him a lot. I think that last year they didn't run with him enough. I think when they started
It's
doing
only going
that,
to get worse though as he gets older.
Mhm.
Look
I
at
know,
Cam.
but well, my point is, do it now. Do it now.
Well,
Right.
now, new offensive coordinator.
Yeah.
You still have the head coach.
You
You're a
brought up Lincoln Riley.
Right,
That's
right.
what he
I
said
said it
yesterday.
last
I
night.
heard you.
I
Here's the
said it
problem.
last night.
Here's the
You don't
problem.
want him?
I do want
You
him.
do want him.
Of
I
course
do
you
want him. That's where the NFL is
But
going.
here's the
Absolutely.
problem. And I told him this yesterday. If you're a college coach in a top-tier program,
Yeah.
the money you could
No,
make,
it's not. And look
And
at
it's-
Saban. He got
why
it.
leave?
It took him 2 years to figure it out. He
Why
said-
leave?
Well, Saban's in again. This was mine.
But Saban did it.
Agree or disagree? I said to him, Lincoln Riley, for the next 5 years, no matter what, is at least number 3 behind
Absolutely.
Saban
Dabo and Saban.
Saban, right.
So there's no guarantee you're going to win there. You get Jerry Jones, who's just going to throw you money.
Yeah.
And listen,
There is a
Dallas
cap.
is the
There is
premier
a cap, though.
team in the NFL
There is a salary cap.
Not for a coach.
not for a
No,
coach.
no, no, no. For your team. You go
Oh,
to
for a team.
Dallas.
Oh, I get what you're saying.
You know,
in Oklahoma, he gets
Right, he can recruit whoever he
reloads
wants.
every
Plus,
year.
he's making. You're not paying. I told him the intangibles that
Yeah,
people
but-
don't see. You're not paying for a house. You're not
I
paying.
know.
for, you're not paying for
But Briggs,
travel.
when you're making that much money, you're worried about paying for a house.
Right, but if you're going to go to the
No, I
NFL
get
for
what
a
you're
little
saying.
Right,
more
right,
money
I get what you're saying. I
and
get what you're
dealing
saying.
with the egos,
Yeah, no,
like
I know.
Saban did it. Went to Miami. He said, "I'm getting the hell out of here."
I know.
No, he
It-
wasn't.
It's,
It was.
it's
it
a
was
different.
It's tough.
It's a
It's
different
tough.
thing.
It is.
But I think, like you're saying all the other things he has to manage. I would want him for his mind, not
Right.
for
right. But if I'm
because
Oklahoma,
he almost would have less of a workload at the NFL because he doesn't have to worry about
Recruiting.
That's
Right.
the GM's
But-
job
but
now.
what-
Like
but-
you figure out what you're
but
in
what
the
makes him
conversation.
great
But
is part of what makes him great.
He gets
can
the players
handpick
that-
his players.
yeah, he gets the players.
But the
that he
thing with
wants.
Lincoln Riley, what he would need, I'm going to be honest, is he would have to do just what McVay did. Hire yourself an older,
Yes.
great defensive
Yes.
coordinator and say, hey,
Yes.
run the show.
Listen,
I got the
I got
offense.
nothing against our DC.
You know what I'm saying?
No,
But
no,
what I'm
no.
saying for Lincoln
But I
Riley,
just
that's
don't-
what he
I
needs.
think so. As society is changing sports, just like Coach K never left, all these college basketball coaches set up this example, and all of a sudden now, Dabo he signed a big contract, and that was to keep him away from another college team. Wasn't even keep
Yeah,
him
I
for
see
that.
Dabo as just college guy. I don't see him. in the
Right, but
NFL. He's got some
money-wise-
personality, you know.
money-wise, it's not that anymore. It's quality of life,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
and in this society, that's what it is nowadays.
Of course.
You want to go deal with the headache. Listen,
You want to
Jerry
deal with
Jones.
Antonio Brown? You want
Right.
to
Jerry Jones might be a great owner now,
Yeah, he
but
was.
what was he the last
No.
when he was a GM making these bad decisions?
I
He
read.
fired. He fired one of the
Well, you
greatest
know how
coaches of
Lincoln
all
Riley,
time.
Lincoln Riley would basically would have to come in there. First off, getting paid ridiculously, and
Right.
2, with total control.
Yeah,
Because
but
again, if
Jerry-
it
you
would be
really
the same
want
thing like the
somebody,
dude in Arizona.
right? If you
gotta
want
give him the
somebody
right
like that,
But the problem is,
because like you're saying,
you could say
he wouldn't
you're
turn
wrong.
around and say, "Why would I leave Oklahoma?
Yeah.
What do you got
Right.
for me?"
But the thing is, you got an owner. Yes, he's older, and we're just talking about Dallas. But he fired a 2-time Super Bowl winning coach to put in Barry Switzer
You know where-
because of an ego.
Oh well,
Well,
you know he fired Tom Landry
Yeah, well, that
on
was.
a golf course.
But that was.
yeah, that's a little rough. I
and
mean,
the
it's Tom
GM.
Landry.
He told Tex Schramm, "I don't want him no more." He goes, "You fire him. I'm not firing
But you
him."
know what? I get that. Here's why. I just
It's
put
new.
my
it's
money.
new.
But it's
to
Tom Landry.
Yeah, but everybody's day comes to pasture.
It's Tom Landry.
He didn't go nowhere else, did he?
Oh, he felt slighted probably.
Okay, but Don Shula,
And back then, those were men of
Don
pride.
Shula got fired. They all get fired.
Yeah,
But when I come in and buy a team,
yeah, I get you.
You want your show.
You gotta understand something.
But it worked.
He didn't.
I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
It worked. It
And
worked.
then his ego got the
Right,
best of him.
right.
But these
Yeah.
guys
You don't
are-
want to know. I read a book called Boys Will Be Boys about the
That's-
day he bought it until
How it
You're
is.
talking about
Oh,
a
my
cutthroat
God.
Texas oil man billionaire.
Yeah.
It's
He
not-
doesn't care.
No.
Yeah.
It's not like
But
we
thank
go
God
in,
his son
like if
stepped
we
in.
if we won $1 billion and wanted to buy a team, we'd be like, Tom Landry, you're the best.
Yeah,
Because
No, he's
Yeah,
these guys
just,
make
yeah,
their
he's
game.
shrewd.
They
He's
didn't
like,
make their
Right.
money that way.
yeah, you're
Right.
right.
So
You're right. You're absolutely right.
I get why you would say Tom
But-
Landry, but you fired Jimmy Johnson after 2 Super
Well,
Bowls.
he fired Jimmy Johnson because the press was saying, "Wow, Jimmy
Yeah.
Johnson, Jimmy Johnson,
Right.
Jimmy
So you're
Johnson."
telling me
He said, "I could do it with
I run
anybody."
the show. Yeah.
And I'll be real with you. I read in the book. It said when they went to the Super Bowl in Arizona with Barry Switzer, the players were in their rooms before those guys. Them and their wives were out all night,
Yeah.
and the guys were
Barry
like,
Switzer was
"I guess
Right.
we got to go to our
Barry
rooms."
Switzer-
Exactly. Yeah.
Barry Switzer
He
like
did
this.
nothing.
Right.
You're one of my best friends. We went to college
Yeah.
together. We played football.
Yeah, he
I'll be
did
your head coach.
Yeah.
Here's my ring.
And you got it right.
He did nothing.
But,
Got it right.
but he was a great head coach in Oklahoma.
Yeah, but
But you'll
NFL
never
was-
get
Nah,
that credit.
different. Was it?
But you'll never get that credit.
NFL wasn't fair.
No, because he was a.
You could have coached that down.
They had. Oh my God! I was just gonna say that.
Yeah,
The roster
come
they had,
on.
it was
But
insane.
Barry Switzer was that Bosworth era. Now,
Yeah.
whatever was going on behind the scenes, those teams were good teams.
You got a Super Bowl prediction?
I love the Chiefs, but who knows with the AFC?
Stop
Steelers
right
are gonna
there.
be good.
Stop right there. Chiefs.
Yeah.
Week 1 at Jacksonville. Win or loss? That's not what he says.
I heard him.
Defense beats them.
That's not what he says.
Defense
Fine.
beats them.
All right. That's what I
Do
said.
you know what this guy's been cooking up all off
Yeah.
season?
Who, Reed?
Reed.
Oh,
Oh my
don't
God.
mention Reed in postseason to him.
Listen,
'Cause he hates
Postseason,
that.
don't give me
I'll bring it. Can I
regular
bring it to
season.
fantasy for a minute?
Absolutely.
We do a keeper league.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
This dude drafted Patrick Mahomes last year in like the 14th round, and he starts his team. Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah.
Like, how do we not see that? The guy's skill set is like for a
Yeah.
guy like Andy Reid, he can make that kid do.
The problem
Anything,
is
you know?
he's got to go in the playoffs. And you got Andy
No,
Reid,
understandable.
who he'll
And the
have
problem
500
is they got
yards.
to play defense.
My memory. I mean, they were in it last year and they lost to New England, right?
Yes.
I mean, that's good.
No, but
that's a
Andy-
good. I mean, like,
that's
yeah,
a
we
great-
want him to win, but that's a
that's a
good
great
start.
jumping
That's a
off
good,
point,
like,
yeah.
yeah, like,
But until I have this ceiling of quarterbacks and coaches.
okay. Same with Reed. He's got to prove he can win in the
Right.
playoffs.
He's on the ceiling that he's hitting it.
Yeah.
And he's been long enough to my opinion, he's not going to go over.
I know, but to his defense, not that I got to defend him, but he's never had the weapon he has at quarterback. He's never had that.
But he's
So
a
for
great
his-
coach.
Yeah, he's a great coach. But what
How
I'm
many-
saying
how
is
many
this
coaches
kid
has
can
had that
do
weapon?
maybe Alex Smith and
Donovan McNabb.
Well, McNabb was good, but I don't
And-
think he has the arm talent that
No,
this guy
but
has.
who
This guy
does?
can make
He
all these
is.
throws.
But who
Like,
does?
nobody.
Like,
That's my
my
point.
point
So,
is-
like, he can do some outside the
this-
box things
but
that this
this
kid
great
can actually
coach-
do.
Is like
I get you.
when we were in Denver, he liked John Fox at the beginning.
That,
I
that
did
went
it.
away.
And
Yeah,
I
that
said,
went away.
and I said, John Fox will get your team like Carolina to
Yeah.
a point,
He did.
and he's going to hit the ceiling. And for our Super Bowl, we got crushed in Seattle.
Yeah.
The rumors we heard after the game, the practices were crap.
Yeah.
They were some of the stuff that were on Twitter. They didn't prepare.
Yeah.
He wasn't the right coach.
Yeah.
We get Kubiak in. They adjust.
Yep.
There's a ceiling for quarterbacks and for coaches. And very rarely in a league right now, maybe there's 4 coaches that can get there.
Yeah.
You're gonna have your Marvin Lewis. You know, who
He
can't
loves
do
Marvin
nothing.
Lewis.
Hey,
He
you mentioned Marvin
He
Lewis.
hates
I-
Marvin Lewis.
Well, why'd you mention?
Because
Yeah,
he
he-
stayed there for so
Yeah,
long.
he did. He
And
was there a long time.
You're gonna have these guys that are in the league forever and going, all he needs is this.
If I were to become a
Right, you got
millionaire and
that.
bought a team, I would hire Briggs as my head coach and make the defensive coordinator Marvin Lewis and make him coach. Make him coach.
Him or
Your
Joseph.
quarterback coach
Him or
would be
Joseph.
Vance Joseph, Reed. That would be, and your first quarterback would be Alex Smith or
No,
Dalton.
no,
Andy
Dalton,
Dalton
Andy
would be your
Dalton.
quarterback.
No, here's the thing with Joseph. Watching him in Denver, he just looked
Lost.
Yeah.
lost.
I know. Same thing with the dude from the Jets. What was his name?
Bowles.
Bowles.
Yeah,
It looked like he was,
you
like,
wanna
indifferent
grab
about
him.
it, yeah.
He's like, oh, yeah.
Yeah.
But
But some guys are just like that.
Bowles had that personality. But Joseph would be on a, like literally go like this.
Yeah.
what do you mean you don't know?
You gotta know.
Yankee fan?
No, Mets.
Mets.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I know.
Sorry.
Yankees win the World Series?
No, let's take the football.
They're
No,
a bomb
hold on. I'm
squad.
asking him a question.
They're a bomb squad, but their pitching might not get.
I
in
agree
there.
with you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
of course. That's
That's a good team. That's a good baseball
It
team.
is.
you know
Yeah.
what's great about him is one guy goes out,
Yeah,
and the next guy who could be a minor leaguer that's been in there
Yeah.
goes on a rampage.
But it comes down to pitching.
it
it
does.
does
No,
come
but it
down
also
to
comes
pitching.
You know what though? Listen, Verlander.
And you
Cole,
saw Mr.
How'd
Verlander.
Greinke do yesterday?
Or you saw Mr. Verlander
How'd
over the
Greinke do
weekend,
yesterday?
right?
I want Greinke in Game 1 at Yankee Stadium.
You're not gonna have him. You're gonna have Verlander.
I know that, but
You
that's
know what this?
But
you know,
you're a
Yankee
actually.
fan.
Oh yeah.
No,
You know-
Greinke's
Oh,
but
the
listen,
blood.
yeah.
You know,
That's
you know what this
wrong.
knucklehead said when we were talking? We were having a huge debate one night.
Every
And then
night.
Kenny,
Every night.
Tom's Flores, Kenny,
Yeah,
he had
yeah.
a second one. His one, the first night was, I said, who are you going to pitch versus Verlander in game 1? He just said, don't even worry about game 1. We'll just give it up.
Yeah.
That's what I
He
do.
wants to just give it up. So 3 games you're going to face him, you're down 0-3 already. You got to sweep him.
No, you put in.
Kenny's saying
you
the
put in
ball's
I
somebody
get
else.
what you're saying.
You try to hit him,
You try to be serviceable.
but you're not
put a
gonna.
guy
Why
out
would you
there,
put
but-
your ace against an ace when that ace is
What
What
does
if
that tell
it's
your
game
team?
7?
What does that tell you?
Right. What if exactly?
look in history? They've done it before.
What if it's
No,
game
but-
7?
Well, we're not doing it
Oh,
game
game 7.
Right.
You have to face
That-
him.
Yes, and you go all out,
This
all
is-
in.
Maybe this is like a testament to how not so great their staff is. Who's their number 1? Who's the Yankees
It's
number
gonna
1?
be Tanaka.
That's not number 1.
No, it's not number 1.
That's
That's
why.
not a number 1.
That's why I
So
don't pitch
in
him
that-
in game 1.
exactly
I
in
put him in
that
2.
in that situation. But if you got a guy that thinks he's a number 1 starter, you can't tell that guy I'm not putting you
Right.
against.
No.
Right.
He's gonna say,
It's
bro,
a bad precedent to the game.
Yeah, he's
Listen,
gonna say,
if
what about me?
If
Right.
Seravino was all in like last year,
Yeah.
and he's 16 and whatever,
But you don't have him.
He
hypothetical.
said if
I
that's
would
the
put him to
situation, then
game.
you throw him out
He's
there.
game
But,
1.
yeah, I get what you're
If
saying.
my game 1 pitcher, my number 1 pitcher is number 2, really,
Yeah.
I'm putting him in game 2 and try to go 1-1. That's my best, probably
But
odds.
like he said, if you get to a game 7, it's
Then-
gonna be your guy versus
Right.
their
Yeah,
guy.
but you know what? I'm happy I'm in game 7.
Yeah.
I'm trying to hit 5 home runs and I'm
Yeah,
trying to
yeah.
score. Listen, Verlander didn't win every game this year. Yes, in the playoffs he's going to be tough.
Mm.
But I'd rather face him in game 7 with my best lineup and have my win game 2, so I'm 1-1 going into game 3. Especially if I'm going to New
Different
York.
approach.
Listen, we could argue here all night.
Yeah.
Me, if I need a number 1, I look at the Yankee roster, I look at the Met roster. DeGrom, hands down, is my first choice. Syndergaard is the second guy I'm picking. I might even have to go wheel. I might have to.
Yeah.
Really?
Oh, no,
Oh, come
Strowman.
on.
I might.
What does Braun Strowman have to do with this?
It's not Braun Strowman.
What do you mean? Poor guy's getting a title shot and this is what you say to him? God.
No,
So-
but I agree with you.
I can tell you one thing I know about him right now, what I like, what coaching wise.
God.
He's in a game this year. They're down 20-13. They
He's going for
score.
2.
He's going for 2.
We already did it.
You're going for 2.
We
There's
already
no
did it.
kicker. Keep the kicker on the sideline. We're
Indian
going
Hills.
for
Indian
2.
Hills, we did that.
Listen,
That's we ended the
listen,
scrimmage
that's
thing.
it.
If
Was,
they did
you know,
that in 1939, they'd be tied.
You're right. It was a
Well,
1 point play.
he couldn't do it there.
No, but
No.
he said last night you went. For,
Oh,
you
you-
ran it in
oh,
and
yeah,
threw
yeah,
it, and
yeah.
it was 1 point.
4
Yeah.
points. They
Yeah.
kicked the field goal.
No
No.
option for the
No.
Gold
Here's
Goose.
a question. Do you, or have you yet, or will you, and how much will you get into the 1939 team with your team?
Oh, we already have.
You have to,
So
especially
they
with the
already
play.
sat in like with that thing with,
Okay.
with Gola, and like the picture on the cover. I don't know, if you want to show it, whatever. But just those guys standing stoic with that black and white with the gold jerseys they
Yeah.
had, awesome. So like I put that up in the locker room. We talk about it. We don't like hammer it
No,
home,
no.
but
Yeah.
they should know, like, because a lot of kids, again, they didn't grow up in Garfield like I did or whatever. They moved here and
Mhm.
some of them will be like City of Champions, and
Right. What's
like,
right? Why?
why? And I get into the whole thing that maybe that's where it started from that team, but it's about something more than that.
Yeah.
Like we want to win in everything we do. We grind. We're from Garfield, and it's actually amazing because I brought it up when Hank was there. He said it. He's like, being from Garfield is something that's special, and you have to understand that because he's like, I traveled all around to these games, and you see people. You're like, oh, you're from Garfield?
Forget it.
It's
Yeah.
amazing.
Forget about the
Yeah.
My
kids.
sister lives in California.
Anywhere.
My sister lives in California, and there's this guy. He's a record producer. He grew up on Malcolm Ave.
Yeah.
Like, it's unbelievable. Like, it's
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
some people joke around and say it's the country of Garfield. Well, this is our world, right? Like, and I want the kids to understand that
Yeah.
yes, there's a world out there, and I don't want you to be in Garfield
I
for
got
your whole
one
life,
for 'em.
but You know,
Do you know what you're saying today, Saturday, before you go out there?
spur of the moment.
Yeah.
I mean, we have
I
things.
like that.
We have like I don't want to say mantras, but we have things that we've been hitting home like
I'm
all
saying
week.
you,
All week.
that final speech.
No,
You-
it's
not
all.
yet?
It's
Yeah?
in the. It's all moment.
It's
all
festering.
Yeah, and it's all like things that happen. Something might happen tomorrow that like boom. That's like. And I read a lot. I watch a lot of like documentaries, this, whatever, and I take things from that. Like,
You have to.
because I watch like I'm a Notre Dame fan, so they had
Yes.
on Showtime the season with like kind of
Okay.
like Hard Knocks, and like every week he would bring like a CEO or
Now
like this guy or that
that's an underrated coach.
guy.
Kelly?
Yeah, he's good. He's good. I was up
Except
and down
in the
on him,
BCS
but
playoffs, but we'll get back into
well,
that.
they
Well,
can't. There's a lot.
They can't recruit
Let's talk
that
about.
way.
Yeah, we can't. We don't have the guys. To
No.
hunt
Now,
someone.
all right, one quick question on Notre Dame.
Yeah.
Two things. Do you think it's an advantage and a fair advantage that they don't play in a conference so they don't have to do that conference championship weekend? So if they basically run the table
Yeah.
and regular season,
wanna
are they
know what it is?
automatically in?
You know what it is.
What do you think?
No.
Oh, of course.
It's the NBC.
Right,
advantage.
right.
There's
It's not
times
like
with
they do
NBC,
it, yeah.
so
It's not like they don't do it because
Yeah.
it's a disadvantage money wise to do that.
Yeah.
To go into a conference.
yeah, they don't.
So
they
that
don't
makes no
need.
sense.
It's like you
Because
already.
Listen, it's a business.
But do they have to go undefeated?
You
Yes.
have to,
So
yes.
if they're 11-1.
No. Can't
They're
do
not.
it.
I mean, again,
it depends who
it
you lost
depends
to.
who you lost
lose
to,
to
but,
Michigan close, you
but
have a
again,
shot.
they're
No.
not really. Nah, maybe not
No.
even.
I
No,
know.
maybe not
I
even
know.
because you're not playing the Alabamas and the
Nope.
Clemsons. And
Yeah.
You play. Listen.
But to be
you-
honest with you,
the
They do play a
USC's,
tough schedule, though.
USC's,
Oh, wait, let's-
Michigan's.
like this was something I heard on the thing I was listening to the other day. Are we putting the SEC on a pedestal? Like, are they
the top.
that?
The top. I heard this.
I
today.
am.
I was watching.
Tennessee lost.
I was
These
watching,
guys were in
You know what?
games.
That-
Colin Cowherd today.
That's a great point.
It's the top.
Yeah, it's a top
Then
three.
the bottom is
Yeah.
Arkansas's terrible.
Oh, I think exactly.
Tennessee.
Mississippi State.
Mississippi-
Like,
No, so yes, they're a pedestal once you get to 5.
Well, my point is this. I'm an Auburn fan,
LSU's been down. Like,
Oh, here, I'm an
they're,
Auburn
they're
fan.
better now, but they've been down.
They lose to Texas this week.
right?
Probably.
Hey, I'm an Auburn fan. You Notre Dame fan.
Notre Dame.
Okay. I'm sorry, but neutral field. We got to go to Oregon.
Big win.
We go to Florida. We play Georgia at home at LSU. I mean, I'm sorry,
I'll
but you
be
know what?
there. Yeah.
2 of those losses, you should be in that
No.
BCS.
Nah, not two.
No,
Not two. You got. I'll give you one.
Listen, you gotta
I'm giving
win.
you 2 losses.
You
No
can't-
way. I don't
listen.
care who you're playing.
no. It's,
You know what? They would have
Not
got
giving
it
you
2
two
years
losses.
ago. They would have got it with 2.
Well, didn't they win the national championship one year with 2 losses when they had Cadillac Williams and this
No,
guy
no.
was like a mythical national championship?
Well, they were
That
undefeated.
was-
They were the only team undefeated. That
Oh,
year.
okay.
But I'm
okay.
saying 2 years ago, they beat Georgia, number 1. They beat Alabama, number 1. They wound up losing the SEC championship game,
Yeah.
but their
Yeah.
losses were LSU and at Clemson.
well, it's 2.
Still-
But you
Kenny,
know what?
wait, Kenny, I got a football question for you. Kenny is asking, Coach Pete, is Garfield Lodi still the main rivalry or another town?
No, Garfield Lodi is absolutely still the main rivalry. 100%. 100%.
Has to be.
It doesn't matter if what our record was the year before or their record. It's like a game that stands alone. It really does.
And
It's great.
yes.
It's great. We're so close. Like we were talking
You're
about kids
other
today.
side of the street.
Harrison.
Like,
Harrison Ave.
It's not a joke. Like we put the article up. It was written a couple years ago, but I found it like the battle for Outwater Lane. We always
Yeah.
called it the battle for Harrison.
Harrison
Ave.
Ave.
Yeah.
But Outwater Lane actually makes more sense because both schools are like on
Right there.
Outwater
Yeah, it
Lane,
is.
you know. So we put that article up and we're talking about that, and like one of the coaches starts going nuts. He's like, "You understand that when you get older, you're gonna be out at a restaurant and you're gonna see a guy that played on that team. What do you want to be able to tell him? You know, you're gonna see a guy, you know, like when after you graduate at college,
Right,
he's
right,
gonna be,
right.
what do you want to tell him? You know, because you're gonna interact with these people. Not that we don't interact with people from Rutherford or whatever,
Of course.
Garfield Lodi,
You're there.
we share a
You
street.
see 'em,
We
you're
share
there.
a street.
It's
you
a
know?
whole
See, he's
different-
answered every question we threw at him, but this one he's not. He's going to say, I can't answer this. You want to
There
bet?
we go. Let's see.
I know.
Oh, no,
I don't know the question, but I know the mentality. Go ahead.
I can say right now, he's not going to look in that camera and be able to. He's going to say,
They should.
you ready?
Don't.
Best pizza in town.
Holy cow.
I knew you were going to say that.
Give me your 3,
No,
but your
no,
favorite.
No. You stop talking
Isn't it
right
crazy?
now.
Wait, isn't it crazy?
There's
that in
so many
Garfield,
places.
You can go. You could have said, "Give me your 5," and there
I
still might be
know.
one like that's
I
like,
know.
"No, there's
And
so
there was
many."
more in the past.
All right.
What Kurt's going to do right now is sort of little hints to influence you.
Mm-mm.
Keep your mouth shut.
Yeah.
That's what he does.
I'm staying
He'll
quiet.
go like this. What about this one?
I'm staying
Okay.
quiet.
I'm just gonna give you 2. I don't even need 3.
Okay.
I'm gonna give you 2. It's
Just
just
a tie?
because it's not a tie. It's not a tie. I can't tell you who's won, whatever.
Okay, that's fair.
I'll throw two
That's
at
fair.
you.
Oh,
All right.
boy.
I don't even know if you're going to agree with me.
No, he has one. He has one.
Okay.
And
It's untoppable. You can't even
you
argue
can
with
get
him.
the guy from Ray's Pizza
Yeah.
to move to Garfield, the original, and it doesn't
Won't
matter.
like it.
Doesn't matter.
So I'll lead with this. I like Sicilian. I'm a
Okay.
Sicilian guy.
All right.
But I'm not judging this on Sicilian.
No,
okay.
I'm judging this
Okay.
on
That's
just
fine.
round pie. Okay. And it's just these are places that I frequent a lot. So Santoni's and Pizza Mania.
There you go. You just ruined his world.
Well, I want to know where you're at.
Jeff Stewart just gave an answer.
What do you got?
What's he got?
I didn't see him. Oh.
No, it's
I left
fine.
it out. No.
Oh,
That's a good pie. That's a
you
good
left
pie.
it
That's
out.
a good pie.
I didn't say a word.
No. I'm not going to say I'm putting it in.
Okay.
I'll just say I left it out.
Okay.
You know why I bite it and the cheese falls off?
No. I can't. They do a nice job. You have ties to them.
Yeah,
I can't.
absolutely.
You have ties to them.
Absolutely.
He's got ties. I can't.
Yeah. See, growing
I'm
up,
not gonna say they're bad. They're very good.
Growing
I
up
like
for
their pizza
me-
a lot.
it was not Santoni's,
Gee.
Labella,
Oh,
because I was over
yeah.
there.
Yep.
And it has changed over the years.
Yeah, they're cool.
But when I was there recently, the last 3 years, it was the second one.
Mania?
Santoni.
No,
Oh, Pizza
Pizza
Mania.
Pizza Mania,
Yeah.
because they're Brooklyn pie.
Oh yeah. I like that a lot.
But you know
I
what's
like
amazing
that. I
when
like
you're
the
in
margarita
Garfield, like
pie,
you say,
too.
you talk to some people like, hey, what pizza? I mean,
Yeah.
you could go to like 8 places
Yeah,
in
at least.
Garfield.
And
At
then you know what
least.
comes up? That isn't even Garfield. Pizza Town.
Yeah.
I know.
Because it's
I
so
know.
close.
I know.
And I don't like them either.
I used to like Nino's, but
Kenny's
Oh.
chiming in saying, hey,
Nah,
Kurt, at
that's
least no
what I do, so.
Labella on the list. He's digging at you. Him and Kenny have this digness.
Yeah.
You know? Like, yeah.
Listen,
They
I
go
brought
at
him,
it.
I went down to Maryland. I brought
Go-
him pizza from
Roses.
Roses. 2
Yeah.
pies.
To
Drove
Maryland?
him to Maryland.
So did we. So
I
did
don't
we.
want to help him. So,
Wow.
yeah.
So let's do this. We're
Yeah.
ending up. It's your floor. Talk to the camera. What do you want to say to the Garfield community? Any players watching, ex-players, assistant coaches?
I could be, usually I'm very wordy. I'll try to keep it brief. I just want to say first and foremost the support that I've had from everybody, from my colleagues in the high school, coaches at the junior program, council members, board members, everybody has been unbelievable. I really appreciate the support. People are behind me, and that really motivates me. My coaching staff saying you guys are all behind me, it's a good feeling because I feel like I'm doing the right thing. But to the community, I've said it here before, like, yes, we feel like we're going to be successful. Yes, we have high expectations for this season. We expect to win, not just this year, but going forward. But at the end of the day, it's high school football. It's a community thing. Like, we want people to be there, not because the team is good or the team is whatever it is, just because it's a great place to be. It's a good place to hang out. Like, the school is really, I've been working at the high school now for 4 years, and I love where it's going. Like, we're really working on school spirit. We're really working on that sense of community, and the community can help with that, like
Absolutely,
to show
yes.
kids that there's people
Definitely.
behind them, like we have a lot of great kids in Garfield, not just athletes. We have a lot of great students. We have a lot of great talented artists. We have talented, band members, everything. So I want people to see what Garfield has to offer, and like Garfield High School is doing some big things, and I hope that, football can put us on the map a little bit more. I'll say this: one of my good friends and colleagues that I teach with, and I grew up with him. He was one of my best friends in high school. He's the head soccer coach. They're going to be a tremendous team this year. Another friend of mine is the head wrestling coach, and they're going to be a tremendous team this year. The basketball team is going to be a tremendous team this year. So we have some things that are really looking up in Garfield. I hope the community could support us, and I think we. Going forward, there's going to be some good stuff, good stuff that people are going to get behind,
Absolutely. And again, we want to do.
We're going to be right now, I'll tell you, we're going to get behind as much. We'll put our time and effort. And try
Yeah,
to
I
do what we
Absolutely.
can.
And
Like
this
we
was,
said, we want to do a weekly show, a weekly spot coaching
in.
show with him.
I'm in.
We are definitely going to talk.
wanna
We
get
want
on
to plan.
grounds.
We want to do a game
Yeah,
day.
absolutely.
We want to do a game day there.
Absolutely.
Get the whole school involved.
one thing too, when we do the game day, the coaches and I, we took it upon ourselves, and the school, with the support of the school and the maintenance and everybody, we painted the locker room. We redid it, painted it purple with a gold stripe.
Nice.
So it's like we're trying to do some things that are So
We'll come up with. Listen, we come up.
Absolutely.
no,
But we
you guys,
want
I can see
people
what you
there.
guys do.
Push it. You know what I'm
Yeah,
trying to say?
Sit
Get
home
alumni.
today.
Yeah.
Get every, like
It'd be
you're saying,
awesome.
all the other
It'd be awesome.
teams. You know what I'm
Yeah,
trying to say?
yeah,
It could be, hey, soccer player.
Yeah,
anybody
yeah.
coming on,
Highlight those because
that thing, you know?
because
that's
football
what it
kind of
is.
like if you do it, you know,
Football
on
can
a,
lead
right.
because football is the most popular sport in the country, but
Everything
everything
else
else
too.
from the back,
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
it'll just
And
bring
it's
it
a
up.
good opportunity to do it at that moment because like football at that moment, like 7:00 at night, that's what's going on.
Right.
It's just
That's what's
football.
going on. Yep.
So everybody else, you know,
That's it.
the soccer team may have just played a game and won, and you can
Yep.
talk to them.
Absolutely.
Or whatever, you know, so I think
We'll
that'd
set
be-
that up. We'll get a
that'd be
date
awesome.
on when we're going to do that.
Yeah.
But we are going to do the weekly
We're gonna
spot
do a
with
lot
you.
more stuff.
Absolutely.
We're going to do that. I want to thank everybody. There's your
Yes.
helmet.
Tap the helmet.
That's it, man.
By the way, I'm
We went
a
Matt Purple this year.
medium. He's an extra large.
Oh, yeah, I got you.
For
I
hoodies
got
that
you.
come in.
I got you.
You know, we need the guard for the show.
I am an extra large. Yeah.
There you go.
They'll be large soon.
That's all right. That's
All
okay.
right. I got you a t-shirts next time
I'll
I
be
come
alive
on.
There you go.
Hoodies, I'll get there.
There you go.
Okay.
There you go.
That's
I
it.
got you
All
a
right.
t-shirt. Yeah,
My
anything.
wife's probably going to steal a hoodie, but I'll
Okay.
make sure that I
Maybe I'll bring two then.
bring two.
I'll
Yeah,
bring
bring two. Bring two.
All right.
Hey,
Good
seriously, thank you.
No,
I really do
appreciate it.
appreciate it.
This was
I
a
really
lot of fun.
appreciate it.
Thank you,
It was a
man.
lot of fun, man.
And
So
we're gonna-
much. Thank you.
And you will have. We'll talk NFL.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, we'll
Absolutely.
talk week to week.
Now
And
we
you know
got a Cowboy fan. Now we got another
Yeah, we
Cowboy
added
fan
Cowboy
chiming
to
in.
it.
Listen,
Yeah.
get the word out there. People could call in, be on the
That'd be
air.
great.
You
That'd
know,
be great.
so
Absolutely.
anybody could call in.
It was cool with the
opinions.
comments and stuff.
Yeah,
you know?
by the way,
No,
Kenny's
we keep doing
saying,
it.
Pete, good luck for Maryland. Have a great, successful
Well,
Kenny,
season.
literally-
thank you, man.
Like Sis was on yesterday's
Yeah.
show. We have the camera now. We
Yeah.
can fit people.
It's awesome. I
So-
like the lodge right there. Is
Lots of
great.
Broncos. You better like
10
it.
years old, Giordano's. It's been a long time.
What a great time, man.
Been a
That
long,
was-
long time.
That was fun times, man. You were a
That's
great
where it
coach.
started.
You were a great coach.
That's where it started.
All right.
All right. Thank you
Thank
again.
Thank you.
Briggsy, I
Awesome.
always got to give you a thank you.
Just for showing up.
Hey, we went on 2 nights and I mean, this might be like,
Ah.
you know.
Tomorrow.
He wants to do something tomorrow.
I'll be on the street. Forget it. I can't do tomorrow.
We're going to be an MIA. Where's Briggsy?
I'll be sleeping in my car outside. We can do it every day.
You close with
Not
the,
bad.
you know what? You have to give him a uniform. That's what you can go with. Get a helmet, shoulder pads, and you're ready to go.
I'll be alone. I'm
I was
sleeping.
just leaving the coach's room.
Oh,
Seriously,
man.
thank you everyone
Thanks.
for watching.
Yes.
Thank you.
Any comments?
Saturday, 1 o'clock.
Oh yeah, I
at Lodi.
forgot about the most
Yeah.
important thing.
Most
We
important
forgot
thing.
that.
Saturday, 1 o'clock at Lodi. Let's get everybody out there. I know they're gonna bring people. Let's match them, right?
Let's
Let's
go.
match them. Let's get there. Let's
Get there. Get
support the boys.
your
Let's support the
purple and
boys.
gold on.
Good luck on Saturday. Good luck all season. Thank you again for
Thank
coming
you.
on.
Thank
For the
you.
first of many.
That's
Yep.
it. First of many.
Thanks.